Hello and welcome to the Trash Talk Podcast. Today, I am Hill JJ and I'm going to have Sergey. How about that?
Hey.
Today we're going to ask and answer some questions, which is what we do. Sergey, would I rather wear long or short sleeves?
I mean, looking at you now, probably long.
So, first of all, yes. But I would argue that it depends very heavily on the weather. I think it was one summer where I literally wore long sleeves all summer, which was not a good idea. But otherwise, I do generally...
I did do that quite often.
Prefer long. I'm still going to go with my initial answer and say you are probably going to go with short.
I mean, not quite. I'm generally also a fan of long, pretty much on anything other than t-shirts.
I mean, yes, I don't like long sleeve shirts actually. Like the actual t-shirt type material, but with long sleeves. I have a couple of those, but I virtually never wear them.
That just feels weird.
I mean, it's kind of how my pajama tops are, and that is fine. But for regular daily wear, it just feels odd. Either wear a proper sweatshirt or wear just proper t-shirt. Mm-hmm. I do, however, like the t-shirt that I have with a hood and freaking the front pockets. You could not tell those are pockets, but I have a t-shirt like that, but it's still a t-shirt otherwise, and I do kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
An interesting concept.
Yeah, here we have a question. Oh, by the way, I should have maybe mentioned we're taking these questions from icebergideas.com. That is very specifically worded. What type of movie do I like best? Comedy, horror, romance, or action? We really should do that genre topic at one point. Because these are not the only 4 genres of movie that exist. But, let's go with those 4.
But superlatives do be a thing, and yeah, I guess I don't know if I want to pick comedy or action, because both are totally legit for you to like best. From what I imagine. I guess comedy? That's a 50-50.
No. So I'm not even that big on comedy. I've seen a couple of comedy movies, and comedy movies, I think, more so than TV shows. Because, comedy is something that you'd rather have in bite-sized portion. Which, technically a TV show is a smaller portion, but,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch, one episode of a TV show, unless it's, just now coming out. So, that one. But action, I would say, for sure, because that is also what most of the superhero movies are classed under. And that is...
I totally could have guessed that one.
Yeah,
that makes total sense.
When you can go superheroes, answering something for me, then that is generally the route I think you should end up going.
I should think more about superheroes when I answer these questions for you.
Yeah, you definitely should. So, let's see. Comedy, horror, romance, or action. What does Sergey like? I was being an idiot. I wrote up something that isn't even part of the category, so I'm going to have to actually think on the spot now, which is great.
Yeah, same.
And I somehow don't think it's romance or horror, which brings us down to the same 2 that you were picking between. And I'm gonna go on a limb here and actually say it's probably action? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I guess. I've written down that I have no clear preference. If it's well executed, I'll watch anything.
Oh, that's intriguing. I definitely do have my genre preferences, but I would normally say that my 2 favorite genres are probably fantasy and sci-fi, so, there's that. I actually had written down something for you. I had initially written down for you. So I wrote down the questions, and I didn't write down the possible answer. So I just picked action out of it for me, and then later when it was for you, I was trying to like loosely recall what they were without having directly looking at the side, and I wrote down drama because it seemed like a very you thing. But like that wasn't even on the list.
Kinda, yeah, but
like how is comedy on the list but drama isn't? Like those are classic opposites. I mean, they do say that comedy is drama plus time, or some philosopher I think said that. But
I guess.
But yeah, I guess action is what I went with there. Oh. Okay, here comes the rest of the topics. Okay, what annoying traits do I have? Go ham!
God, I do not know.
So it's like, oh my god, there's so many. I'm holding my mic.
I don't know, I'm just probably too used to you being you. Like, I don't know. I legit can't come up with anything.
Thanks, I guess.
I mean, the only thing was like when we did the IQ test and you did the 129 thing for a while.
But
that stopped.
I don't think it was that long, even.
It wasn't even long, yeah.
And I was generally a bit miffed by that because, like, it's so close.
Yeah.
And the worst part is...
I can totally understand that.
I feel like there were parts where I could have just tried harder. Right? Because I took it with a pretty relaxed attitude, which I generally like for tests. But then, like, every now and again, maybe you should take it a bit more seriously. Like, I probably could have scored better. Which is the worst part. Is like, I feel like I could have done better. Just from a focus standpoint and from a taking it seriously standpoint. And I was 1 point short.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it's basically a formality that I mean, yeah, I'm okay. So I do have an idea of what would be like annoying traits that I have, which I assume to be annoying.
I mean, like the other thing, like that you sometimes mention yourself would be going on tangents, but I don't really see that as annoying.
I honestly don't see that as annoying either. I think it's sometimes not necessarily productive for the content, as in the podcast, as in what you're watching right now. I don't generally think that is a bad thing unless it really does take focus away from something. And, you know, sometimes that is the case, but I do try to control myself in those situations. What I have written down for myself is I wrote down bad jokes, and I also will probably think just general smartassery as ones that probably apply to me. And I mean, your annoying trait, I feel like it's kind of obvious. Being late.
True.
See, this is funnier for us
so
than
true.
Than it is for you, because what you, the viewer, don't know is that we started about half an hour later than we said we were gonna, which is totally Sergei's fault.
Yes.
And
I mean, not only half an hour, but like more or less the whole day.
I mean, okay, that one was partly my fault, because I also suggested we start like an hour later than we usually do. And even then, we do sometimes start earlier if we record on that particular day, which is Friday. So actually we're recording this on Saturday, meaning that if this video is out a little late, which I don't think it will be, I think we'll be on time. Not that anyone actually cares. But if it is out late, that's why. Yeah. Also, like, I don't think you saying, like, oh, can we do this another time is necessarily a problem. Now, granted, if you do it, like, right as we're about to start, then it's still not great, but specifically, like, oh, like, hey, let's do that too, and then you're like, hey, 2:30, like, I think I'm ready. Like, great. Like, recording at 2 doesn't mean you start prepping for recording at 2, it means we're recording at 2. Or at least that's what it should be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't really even have an excuse for that.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I mean, I've kind of gotten used to it, but I mean, I'm friends with Joe. I'm very much used to it. But
Yeah.
who is arguably worse at this, especially when it comes to like in-person things. I think I was pretty good when we're doing like digital stuff, but like D&D and stuff, I think he's really on point. But in person, like it's like, hey, like we have an exam today, like we're driving to college together, and like he shows up like half an hour late, and I'm like, we gotta be on time. It's a fucking exam. It's not like they give us more time if we show up late, right? Like, fucking hell.
Yikes.
Let's do the next one. Do I take any medication?
No, though I think allergies might be a thing that you take medication for. I'm not sure.
I like how you started with no, but actually you totally... Okay, so since you phrased it that way, I'm gonna say
Because, I mean, you, as far as I know, don't really go out of your house that much. And I don't know how much of an issue allergies are if you don't leave the house.
Okay, two things. First of all, you're wrong. Second of all...
Oh, okay, well...
freaking dusts, mites, like... Yeah. So, being in the house... I mean, being in the house is definitely better, like, during, like, spring and summer when, like, all of the plants are blooming and whatnot, so that definitely is a factor, but, I do take medication both for my actual allergies, which I actually take all year round for the most part, despite the fact that technically it's better if you don't, but, you know. And I also, have an inhaler for my asthma that I take on a daily basis, which I swear to God you must have seen me take at one point or other, like, on camping trips or something. Actually, I might have been doing that in my tent for the most part before going to bed, because I usually take it right before going to bed, but I feel like you could have known that anyways. But yeah, I literally take medication on a daily basis. And since I'm not aware of any sort of health issues that you would have, which is not to say that you don't have any, but just that I'm not aware of them, I'm just gonna go with you probably don't take any medication. At least not on a regular basis.
That is correct.
Because I'm sure you have taken an aspirin here and there, but that's not what the question is about. Because then the answer is yes for everyone.
Yeah, no, not really. I
mean, try to avoid that.
I completely forgot that you had asthma.
Yeah. It's actually related to the allergies in some way, because it's an allergic asthma. That's not to say that it specifically is only triggered by allergies, but that's like one of the primary things. But yeah,
interesting.
The asthma meds generally, like, I have to take them on a daily basis if I don't. Like, I mean, if I miss a day, it's usually fine. I tend to notice, like, if I haven't taken my asthma meds for like 48 hours, roundabout, a little less maybe, but like roundabout when it's starting to the 2-day mark, I also have to notice that I have to like cough more and, you know, like my breathing feels a bit weird. I wouldn't necessarily say shortness of breath, but like it's definitely noticeable.
Okay. Huh. Yeah. So, did I have had any surgeries?
Does that question not come up later again? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I
think so.
Because I swear to God, oh yeah, it's in the same fucking list. Number 8 and number 20 in this list are both, have we had any surgeries? See, because when prepping for today's episode, I wrote down a couple of extra questions that I had in my notes last time. And I remember answering that question. I was like, wait a second, that's way later. But like, yeah, no, it's just in there twice.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is another one that I just don't know about. And I'm gonna, when in doubt, guess you did not have any surgeries.
Yep. That is correct.
I feel like that's a safe guess. I want to say most people probably didn't, especially at like the age of 21. I mean, I'm sure by the time that people are 80, we might have over 50% of people having had surgeries, but 21, like, seems fine.
Yep.
Have I had any surgeries?
I don't think so.
I mean,
same reasoning.
Not directly. I mean, yeah, yes, I haven't had any surgeries. I will give an honorable mention to the fact that I was born via C-section, but that's not a surgery that was performed on me, so I would not say that I've had a surgery in that sense.
You were just involved.
I was once involved in a surgery that I was not the patient in. Give me my medical license right now. I mean, I'm sure that also would consider you a patient, but I wasn't operated on.
Yeah.
Oh, Sergey, let's do. Yeah, actually, we have some time. Do I prefer rock or country?
I think you prefer rock.
I mean, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say for you. Actually, let me note that point before I forget to. Not that was a question I expected you to get wrong. For you, I'm gonna say that I think you generally don't care that much about the genre of music, but I would hazard a guess and say that you probably like more rock songs than you do country songs. So I would.
That is correct. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Oh.
Because for music, it's the same as with like movie genres. If it's well executed, I'll listen to anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like country isn't exactly known for being a particularly. I don't want to say like poorly say it's a poorly executed genre, but like it's not exactly known for being like a form of high art or something, right? Not that rock music is necessarily known for that, but I feel like country music has gets a bit of a bad rap, and a lot of it for like not too invalid of a reason. Like a lot of country songs just kind of suck. There are good ones. I tend to overall like country as a genre, but it's not up there.
Yep.
Do I have any nicknames? If so, what?
Yes, you do, JJ.
That was kind of a given. Like, I love that where it's like, oh yeah, does your friend who is only ever exclusively referred by his nickname does he have a nickname? Like, I don't know, man. Does he?
Oh no.
Well, the question is, does Sergey have a nickname?
Do I have any nicknames?
I would say there's no nicknames of yours that I'm aware of. You do have usernames. You do have a username that is very consistent across places, but I have heard at least one person actually call you Shadow in reference to your username, the White Shadow, but like I'm not sure if that's a regular nickname. So I'm gonna say like not really, but you do have like the consistent username that is an alias, if you will, but not really a nickname.
That is true. And I noticed I just answered that like before you gave your answer.
Did you?
But you did not seem to change your answer based on that, so.
I honestly didn't really notice you saying anything specific about this one, but yeah, I tend to, that's not the first time definitely that you have answered a question basically before I've answered about, because I generally do have answers written down. I tend to, in case of spoilers, just go with, well, this is what I wrote down. What was it? Oh yeah, I think we were talking about, was it movie genres? Another sleeve one, right? Like the sleeves. When you were like, oh yeah, like I think like you said something about like mostly wearing long sleeves or something, and wearing long sleeves in summer we're talking about, right? And you said that, and then like that you've also done that, and like okay, then he clearly doesn't prefer short sleeves. But I wrote that down, so I'm gonna go with it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, one last question before we go to the halftime show, because those tend to be long.
Sure.
Do I have piercings, tattoos, or both?
Not that I'm aware of. And I don't think you do.
That is correct. I kind of like the question how, because they they give the answer, like piercings, tattoos, or both. It almost sounds like one of those three has to be the answer. But yes, the answer is neither. And I'm gonna say, for you, it's the same.
How could you guess that?
I mean, it's a reasonable assumption to make, I feel like. But, to be fair, like...
It totally is.
You could totally have a tattoo that I don't know about, though. I feel like it would have come up before. As a matter of fact, we talked about tattoos in the previous question, about what tattoo would we get. So...
Yeah. That is correct.
Jesus Christ. Not only did we go through a decent chunk of questions, but also I got every single one except for the first one right. At least according to my notes. Which means that today I got, that should be 7 out of 8? 7 of 8. The famous Star Trek character.
What did you answer for question 44, the genre one?
Oh, I think I said... Oh yeah, I think I said, like, I don't think you have a strong preference, but action, or something like that, something to that effect. If you want, I can...
I don't remember.
I mean, you did say something...
Because...
I think you said something to the effect of, yeah, something like that, or something when I said that, so I just took that as being correct, but... I'm not insistent on those points, I don't really give a...
Yeah, no, I don't know.
But
I'm gonna put half a point there, because I did not write a point down for you there, but...
Okay, fair enough.
I do not remember at this point.
I'm gonna just adjust it so that we have the same numbers at the end, so I got 6.5 out of 8 points. And
I think, yeah.
You got 5. Because, well, you did answer the first one correctly, then you got a run of 3 wrong, and then 4 right again. Which comes up as 5 of 8. Hey, I can do math.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes I say I can't, because sometimes I really suck at math during these. Whoa. I think we are having something of a connection issue. Fact of the week. So yeah, what is your fact of the week?
So, the inventor of the automatic machine gun, Hiram Maxim, spent so much time test firing his guns that he became deaf. So, his son, Hiram Percy Maxim, eventually invented a silencer. Or the silencer, actually. Yeah, which sadly came a bit too late for his father.
Okay, I mean, the silencer probably works very well for, like, not damaging your ears that much, but, like, it is worth noting that the silencer is not as silent as movies make them appear.
It's not silent. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. It's still ridiculously loud.
I mean, I guess for, like, a sniper it makes a lot of sense because you're pretty far away. And, again, just, like, not damaging your ears as much, like, just because it makes a quieter bang. You're not damaging your ears at least as much. Right? Like...
Yeah.
Also, for test firing purposes... You could just wear earmuffs. I'm not sure if those were invented at the time, but I mean...
I don't know.
Okay.
Do not know.
What I can tell you is that plugging your ears with something to not hear definitely had been invented because it was mentioned in the fucking Odyssey. It might have been the Iliad.
Yeah.
It was mentioned in the text by Homer, which is my point, which was in ancient fucking Greece, so... The concept of plugging up your ears to not hear definitely predates the invention of the machine gun. Believe it or not. I know,
he invented his machine gun, like, around late 1800, early 19...
My point was it was after ancient freaking Greece, and so it doesn't matter when exactly.
Yeah, no.
It's still a good fact, but, you know what? Today I wanted to talk about something else for the fact of the week. I mean, it's still factual information, of course. It's kind of what the part of the segment is. I wanted to talk about something that bugs me, and that is logical fallacies. And so I decided to just explain a logical fallacy today. A particular one, and that is... one that I found people don't talk about as much. I mean, I've definitely heard people talk about it, which is why I know of it. But that people don't talk about as much, and that is very annoying when you encounter people using it. Especially if you don't know that's a logical fallacy, because I feel like it is a little bit... The thing with a lot of logical fallacies is that they often have statements that might superficially seem reasonable, until you actually think about it, and so that they can be dangerous. And the one I'm going to talk about today is the no true Scotsman fallacy. Not only does it have a really cool name, but it's basically the idea. So I most often find that that's used in religious contexts. When people will say, like, you will say, like, oh yeah, your religion did this horrible thing, and then they will say, like, oh, they're not a real member of the religion, right? Like, so basically, the idea is that with the no true Scotsman fallacy is basically that you would say that, you know, oh yeah, say you say, like, oh yeah, Scottish men don't wear underwear under their kilts. It's like, well, here's a Scot who clearly did it. And, well, they're not the true Scotsman if they wear underwear under their kilts. And it's like, well, yeah, if anyone who doesn't perform by your standard is not a true part of that group, then, of course, any trait you apply to that group can be true if everyone who doesn't have that trait is not a true member, right? But,
yeah.
I mean, unless it's like something with a formal member list, where of course you can say, like, oh yeah, like, this person literally is not a member of our organization. But, like, if it's just like a loose group, then you can't just, which again is why I think it applies to religions even more so than nationalities, because you either have or don't have a nationality. I mean, you can still, like, culturally say, like, oh yeah, they're not. But, like, religious beliefs oftentimes don't have formal membership structures, or even if they do, like, for example, Christianity, there's various Christian churches, and then additional groups that are not as organized. And I think the same is true for a lot of other major religions. So saying that, like, oh yeah, that person's not a true Christian, like, yeah, no, if someone does something that poorly reflects on your group, you can't just say they're not a member of the group. And that's basically what the no true Scotsman fallacy is. I hope I, like, explained that halfway decently.
Yeah, and I understand. I understood it, at least. I don't know it was explained decently or not.
I love when
it made sense to me.
My favorite example was when someone was talking about how vaccines are evil and anti-Christian in response to the Pope supporting the vaccine, and then claiming that the Pope was of course not a true Catholic, which is ironic since he's literally the leader of the Catholic Church. I mean, that's not, like, the most common example, of course, like, people claiming that literal authority figures are not real members of the group, but, yeah. Just the idea where it's like, oh yeah, members of our group are perfect saints. Oh, well, this guy wasn't a saint, like, oh, well, yeah, he's not a real member of the group.
Definitely.
I don't know if kilts are the original example, but that's the first thing that came to mind when it was called the no true Scotsman fallacy. I'm sure it has something to do with that. Anyways.
Maybe. I don't know.
We did last week, I believe we did It All Adds Up, which brings us to The Great Beyond. Is it The Great Beyond? I think it is.
I think, yeah.
20 minutes, hey! We actually have some time. Which is, well, again, why it makes sense. So, obtain, get. Shine get. Tank filler is gas. Well, I'd never do it like this. Why do I do it like this? Let's do all the dumb ones in this corner first. Non-professional, amateur. Amateur? Yeah. Odd. Suspect? No. Or sus, as the kids say these days. I know it's not a new abbreviation.
Yeah.
Categorize. Sort, maybe?
Yeah.
CPR experts are EMTs, emergency medical technicians. Edible root.
Oh, yeah.
Edible. Not as timely.
Oh, the suspect one is strange, I think. Odd.
Yeah, so it's taro. Not as timely is tardy. Not as timely. Tardier? I don't know. Sure, let's use a comparative. Why not? Okay, this should be one of the key ones. Part of a paragraph. The theme is the great beyond. What? I don't see how that relates. Sentence. It's a part of a paragraph, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Sentence. Jesus. And if I could spell, this would be a lot easier. Small dog could be a pug. And concert venue could be an arena. And the down ones were place of pampering is a spa. Right, I literally brought that sort. Coffee option is decaf. Stands for decaffeinated.
Yeah.
Madrid monarch. Which I guess is the question of who the fuck is the king of Spain? I thought it was Philippe. Make a choice is decide. It's not decide, because that C there is not in the right place. Try something act. Elect? No, that doesn't fit. Anyways.
Select.
What?
Select.
Oh, select. Yeah, that me like elect doesn't fit, so they're like just select. Yeah, fair enough. Blank citato. I'm not really that. Offspring, maybe a kid.
Yeah.
No, that was too obvious. Oh, son, maybe. We can gender them.
That fits as well.
Japanese warrior.
Samurai, probably.
So the cross one, distress signal is SOS. Bank take backs.
Is not an abbreviation, by the way.
What, SOS? Oh no, it's just...
Yeah.
It's just very easy to Morse letters, right?
Yep.
Bank take backs.
I wanted to say loans, but that does not fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit, and it also doesn't really make sense. Justice
Not
Kagan?
really.
I assume they're looking for a first name. I don't know.
I don't know.
Elena? That was the only name that came to mind that fit there. Monopoly token. Like the pieces? There's a car. There's a freaking, what are those called? And there is...
I don't actually remember the original ones.
Madrid monarch. Wait, is it like reina? Like the Spanish word for queen.
Cat?
Cat.
Cat? There was a cat in Monopoly?
Not the one I had.
What?
So what is this? Bank takebacks is redos? No, that doesn't make sense. What is repos? Right, repos. Yeah, repossession. To repossess. Oh. It's a thing. Where the bank takes in something and to take care of your loan. I'm sure if there's a thing we do around here. Well, actually, they do it for securities. Like if you use your house as security, they can then repossess your house. Ripen H. I did not expect it to be right, but it fit. Ancient marketplace. You're not going to say bazaar, are you? Bazaar? Is it? Might have been an S in English. No. I think it's 2 letters in the middle there. Also, it's not ancient, and as far as they have existed for a while, but they also still exist.
Yeah.
Collaborator.
Partner.
That is correct. Instagram
Hey.
upload briefly. It might be pic. R stop. Smartphone downloads would be apps.
Apps.
Horse's pace is gait. Marine predator is an orca. Shopping center is a mart, I guess. African country is Uganda. Raw rock is ore.
Hey.
Hospital scan could be what are they called? Fuck.
EMT, I
That's
think.
an emergency
No, wait.
medical technician. It's not.
Yeah, no, that.
ECT is a brain scan, isn't it? Is it not? 007 foe, that is a James Bond villain. Lair is a den. Before now, it's not a go.
Oh,
is it?
EEG, I think.
What?
EEG, I think it is.
EEG.
So probably
it could
a
be
go.
Yeah. And the 07 foe is Arno? Erno? Orno? It's not. How is it not a vowel?
What?
Oh, Dr. No! It's 2 words. I should have known that. Okay, the great beyond, or a literal connection of the highlighted words. So far, the only other highlighted words we have is partner and sentence. The great beyond,
Afterlife?
I don't know what that has to do with partner and sentence, but maybe... Spy organization could be the Central Intelligence Agency. It is. CIA for short. Ultimate. Wait, final is too long. Last. Okay. Flightless bird. 3 letters. To draw. Or, well, it's just as draw. It could be something like ply as well. I don't know if it's to draw. Could be either one. Grazing land. Starts with an L, 3 letters. Pump up the volume. Is it add? It's not. Amp.
Amp?
Yep. Financial backing. Support. It doesn't have to be financial, but okay. Emu is a flightless bird. And draw has a double P in there. A little woman. I don't know what Little Women is. Finding Nemo fish tank fish. It ain't Nemo. Salon service. Adds up. Adds a parentheses up. Tallies? Yes!
Hey!
Expressive rock genre. Emo? Sure. What is this? Weep. Cry. Amy is the little woman, and the fish from Finding Nemo ends in L-O. Craze. 3 letters. Peculiar. We already did strange. That doesn't fit. Maybe weird. I mean, it fits.
It's, but it's not correct.
Oddly. Okay, that was more of a stretch, but granted, they do stuff like that. I'll do the crossings here.
Yeah.
Cupid's alias. Is it Eros? He's a Greek god of love, and I think Cupid is Roman, isn't he? Maybe I'm wrong. Actress...
I do not know.
Actress spelling. I assume spelling is the last name in that case, which is a bit of an odd one, but... Body. Cash dispenser is an automated telling machine. Extinct flightless bird. Extinct flightless bird. Peculiar, right? We had that. Cupid's alias is Amor. Amore. C.
Yeah.
Actress spelling, I still don't know what that is. Buddy is a mate. And the extinct flightless bird is a... Moa? Peculiar doesn't help me. Tori, I guess? Works. Peculiar.
Hey, nice.
Is it? Wait, is it? It's not a rye, though, is it? It's spelled with a Y, isn't it? Also, that doesn't really... Is that peculiar? It's just not in order. So what is this one? Salon service. Is it petty? As in pedicure? It is. Oh, it's... Wait, Eerie spelled with double E? I thought it was... Anyways. A craze. Maybe a fad? It is. And then draw is...
I didn't know Eerie was spelled with the IE at the end. I thought it was a Y.
I thought for some reason it was spelled with EA, but in the beginning, but hey. To draw... Wait, draw? It's not appeal, though, is it? Grazing land. Is it? It is appeal. I don't quite get that, but okay. How about ancient calculators? It's probably the things with the baubles you move around. I don't know, though. Abacus? No, that's too long. Huh. How about
just try
Inquirer's
just stone?
What? Stone?
I don't know why, but like...
No.
Yeah, no.
HBO rival. But just another TV station? You know, there's dozens, right? Fucking hell. Arts partner. Simon? Paul Simon? This is not talking about Art Garfunkel, is it? Oh no, wait, it's Arts. It's Arts apostrophe, not Art apostrophe S. My bad. Sciences? Yeah. Criticize. I know it's just a critique, but I think it's too close to the question. Ham it up. Indian attire. NOV.follower. Is it November follower? Oh, yeah, DC. I was like, what the fuck? Who follows November? Yeah. That in Tijuana. They speak Spanish there, don't they? ¿Qué? No. What is that? Deep black. Is it just noir, which is the French word for black? No, that would have been... But what is deep black? First aid boxes. Criticize, we already looked at. Did we look at this one? Yes, we did. Okay, let's do the other ones. Phonies, fakes. Finding Nemo fish tank fish. Another one? DE something. I don't even know, man. Credit. As in, like, having credit, or as in, like, loan? Or as in, like, to give someone the credit they deserve? I don't know. Frito-Lay snack. Android alternative is iOS.
iOS, yeah.
I guess let's go from here then. Angry is mad. Cross the goal line. I would have said maybe finish, but acid found in vinegar. Is it acetone? No, it can't be because it ends with a C. I don't know. Trigonometric functions, sines? Stupid. Microwave. Credit. The free-to-lay snack. And dash caps. Is it mad? No, we already did that. Well, mad caps is a term that exists, but ancient calculator starts with an A and ends in an I. HBO rival ends in an O. That doesn't seem that common. Criticize has NS in the middle, which is very helpful. Ham it up starts with EM and ends with an E. Indian attire. Is it saris? Yeah. Ham it up. Cross the goal line. Score. Like in football and other football. Goal line, yeah. Right, no, football specifically, yeah. Right, finish line was what I was thinking of when I said finish. Acid found in vinegar. I still don't know. Who's hammered up? Emote. Okay, I don't know. Criticize. Starts with a C. Probably a vowel then, and then an S. Microwave starts with an N. Credit. The snack. Something caps. First aid boxes. I would have thought first aid kit, but that doesn't... That in Tijuana. But if it's Tijuana, it must be Spanish, right? Doesn't "que" literally mean... Doesn't "que" literally mean... Oh, that's the wrong accent. Doesn't "que" literally mean... I meant to do that, but still. Doesn't that literally mean that? I know I spelled it with an accent, the crossword wouldn't do that. But... Deep black. Like a really dark black, Sergey. I mean, this one... We should be able to just cheese. Because they tell us if the answer is correct. Whoops.
Yeah.
It's still finding the bit, well, cheesy to cheese crosswords. Deb. Ancient calculators. Is it abaci? It was abacus, just in the plural. Credit. Filet snacks. We started so well! What was that bottom right corner? Jesus! I mean, we did above average, which I'm very happy with. Criticize. Censure. Credit. Ascribe. Okay, that does work. I'm not even mad.
That could have been gettable, yeah.
The snack by Frito-Lay was Cheetos. Which are a very popular brand name snack. Like, I guess it was kind of gettable, but it's still a weird one. Microwave is nuke. I guess to microwave something you can also say to nuke it, but I don't really hear people say that. Snow caps. Doesn't ring a bell. Okay, that Tijuana Isso. Sounds like it would be a form of estar. Then again, I don't speak Spanish, so who knows. Deep black is ebon, which is also gettable, but would not have been the first thing I would have thought of.
I do not know that. Like, is it just shade? I
think ebony is a wood type, and that is what it's named after, I believe. I believe it's also the color by which Snow White's hair is described. Oh, I'm an idiot. Remember how I said first aid kit? It was kits.
I was thinking of like med kids, MD, something like different abbreviation, but I did not consider just kits on its own.
Again, it kind of makes sense, but I don't like the way you phrase that question, right? Also, I forgot, I think, to say that apparently the acid found in vinegar is acetic or acetic. I'm not 100% sure. And since it's probably derived from Latin, the answer is probably either, depending on what time period you're taking your Latin pronunciation from. Because in ancient Latin, this would have been acetic, and in more modern Latin, I think it would be acetic. So, there's that. You know the whole Veni Vidi Vici thing? Would have, in ancient Latin, and around the time of Caesar, would have probably been Veni Vidi Vici. But, also, if you say it in, like, the modern, like, ecclesiastical Latin, I think it would still be Veni Vidi Vici, like people actually say it. So, saying that it's wrong is kind of hypocritical. But also, like, generally, ancient Latin pronunciation would have been generally a bit off from how we would interpret it today, so it's not a fair comparison. Anyways.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we've done worse. And I'm not sure if the two of us specifically have done better. So, we're getting there. I mean, to be fair, they asked, like, no geography questions, which definitely helped me.
Me too, yeah. I think I'm worse at geography than you are. So,
I mean, I would think so, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, at least we're better than the average American. Okay, that's probably... I'm not even sure if that's necessarily true, but you know when they go out on the street and they ask people to point at Russia or something, and they're like, I don't know. I'm using Russia as an example because it's literally the largest country on the map.
Yeah.
I feel like... Oh, I've literally seen a clip where from like a late show where they were going around with a map and they were like literally just like point at 3 different countries and name them, right? Like just any 3 countries or something like that. Where it's like, just name any 3 countries on this map. Like, couldn't do it. Now, granted, I'm sure there were people who could do it and who they chose not to show, right? It's obviously very selective, and if the content is produced with the intent of showing how dumb people are, they're not going to include the ones that aren't dumb. Counterpoint, I feel like if I was asked that question, I would try to have some real fun with where I know, like, countries are in weird places, like how French Guiana is part of France, so thereby, there's a part of France that is, like, right to the north of Brazil. You know, stuff like that. I was like, and point at Greenland and be like, this is Denmark. Like, it is. Like, it's not wrong. It's just not what you would expect to find it. Like, this is Denmark, this is France, and like, you just keep going like that. It's like, fine.
Like, technically correct.
The thing is, right, I think Denmark is probably the only one, like, Greenland is probably the only one I could definitely point at, because I know where French Guiana is, but I'd have to, like, make sure to not accidentally, well, I mean, I know generally where it is, but, like, there's also Belize and another country that are, like, right next, they say 3 countries right north of Brazil, and I don't know which order they go. Right, so that's that. It's kind of like how people get Norway, Sweden, and Finland confused, except for the fact that it's very easy because they're in that order from left to right.
Yeah, I don't know. I still get them confused quite often.
Okay, let me tell you. It's very simple, Sergey. It is not safe for Russia. There we go. Now you remember it. NSF Russia. There we go. Norway, Sweden, Finland, Russia. Now you know it. It's silly enough not to forget.
I don't think I'll ever forget that.
Yep. There you go. Learn something. This is educational progress.
I love that.
I think someone on the internet was like, oh yeah, like I'm really mad that Russia is not a country that starts with the letter W. And since then, ever since then, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Norway, Sweden, Finland. Works.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Do you have a... Oh, wait, no. That's not how the question works. Do I have a credit card?
I think you technically do.
I know what you're saying, and you're wrong. But I mean...
Oh.
So, I'm not going to go into that right now, but I mean, you generally knew that I personally don't have one, so I think we're going to go with that. I assume you're thinking of that technically that I was thinking, weren't you?
I don't think we mean the same technicality here.
Now I'm curious.
Okay, let me explain after you answer for me.
Oh, fuck, so there is some sort of technicality. I'm going to say you don't have one. That's what I went with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I technically do. What bank do you have your debit card from?
Sparkasse.
Then you also technically do.
Okay, fair enough.
Because, like, Sparkasse debit cards do technically have a credit card number on them too. And you can actually use that online or, like, wherever as an actual credit card.
Well, but does it function as a credit card? As in, do you only have to pay it like the end of the year or something? Or does it just book it off your debit card?
Not really, no. It still functions as, like, as far as I understand it, it still functions as a debit card, but you do, like, kind of technically have one. So you can use, like, certain sites that only accept credit card or stuff.
Okay, so there was another technicality I was thinking of that I'm not going to go into.
It is weird.
But,
yeah.
I
think you were referring to the company credit card?
Yes. I'm not going to go into any more detail. Would I rather spend or save? I assume this is referring to money.
I think so too.
There's not a lot of things you can spend. Well, I guess time, but you can't save it. There's very few things that you can both spend and save.
Yeah. I'm a yes, save, because, like, that's probably most people's answer.
I'm gonna both disagree with you here and say that you're right. As in, the answer from me is save. That's what he said. And I'm gonna say the answer for you is also save.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that because I think most people would say that, but I think because you're a fiscally responsible person. I would say most people are not good with money. I'm not sure if that is true, but it feels like it's true.
Yeah.
Just anecdotally. So that means that most people probably prefer spending their money over saving it. And fundamentally, I can understand it because there's nothing inherently worthwhile about saving your money unless you have later use for it. But having it as a safety is really useful.
Yep.
Now, that does not mean you have to save billions of dollars, Jeff. But, like, having some savings, just in case is not bad. Seriously, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
You know who you are. Oh,
yeah.
What concerts have I attended?
I mean, I know one for certain. That one concert at the Mill one time.
Yeah.
I do not know the name of it.
Yeah, it's not important. So technically that's not the only one, but I'm gonna allow that as an answer. I wrote down local cover bands. And I think that is the same for you.
Ooh.
Because there's also ones that were literally playing in town that you've also been to.
Oh, I did not really even consider those concerts, but yeah, I guess that makes sense.
They are just as much of a concert in the way as the other one was, especially since the first day there also had free entry, right? And it was also just cover bands playing. I mean, there might have been slightly bigger cover bands there because there was an actual big festival and there was other days where you had to pay to get in and everything. But, like, fundamentally, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Though that one at the mill just felt more, like, official, I guess. Like,
I mean, yeah, because they also, like, there's only
proper.
one entrance and there's people there, and there's more vendors there than just, like, one place to buy drinks. I think it was also at least one food place.
Yeah.
And you can buy shirts and everything. Like, it is a little more formal.
I think so, yeah.
But, it's not that big of a difference. It's just a slightly different scale. Though, actually, like, it is pretty big in terms of, like, people come from pretty far and wide there. Mostly for the days we actually have to pay. I mean, not to say that don't come on the free day, but, like, that's not the main draw because they do generally just have some local cover bands there, and they have some slightly more high quality acts in the second half.
Yeah.
I want to say, I'm not sure if this is true, but I want to say Fiddler's Green played there once.
I don't know.
I mean, there are German bands, it's not like
That'd be
that
cool,
far-fetched, but
yeah.
I also don't think they're, like, hugely famous, but I think that is a thing that happened. But they did have some comparatively bigger acts.
It would be really cool, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
To the concerts. What is one gift I would want for my birthday?
It's most likely money, but I'm still gonna say something else. How about a correlation does not imply causation? XKCD's shirt.
I'm gonna give you a point for that. I mean, obviously, like, I wrote down money. I should have literally written down cold hard cash because, you know, that's a funnier answer. But, like, yeah, money. But, I mean, I don't hate some other presents that I've gotten. And this would be one of those. I don't know why he's coming up with that. But yeah, I know what he's saying. That. And I'm going to say that for you, it's probably also just money, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, boy.
And this is the point where my preparations end.
Really?
Yeah.
This is where mine did end before I added some on. Let's do, like, 2 more and then we'll go into songs and then we'll end it.
Sure. Sounds good.
What is my greatest achievement?
God. Realistically, probably your education so far.
Yeah, I mean, mine literally says, I don't know, finishing high school? But, I mean, it literally says IDK finishing HS because I'm lazy and I'm not going to spell all that shit out, but you get the point.
Yeah.
I mean, for you, I went with a similar thing, like finishing your apprenticeship, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that totally qualifies. Yeah.
Like, it is, I think, technically considered the highest degree of education that you have, so.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I still wonder what that equates to, like, in the US's education system, or if it equates to anything at all over there.
I'm sure, I mean, I'm pretty sure apprenticeships are a thing, and I'm pretty sure that does qualify you for the work in some capacity. I don't know if it's like an official standard system for it, but I'm sure some to the effect exists there as well. I mean, alright, I know it's in high school. Yeah.
Sometimes...
I mean, the German equivalent of high school, yeah. Yeah. I'm just so used to saying high school because, like, that's effectively what it is.
Yeah. It basically is the same.
I mean, which is why for you I could say, like, oh yeah, you finished middle school and then you did an apprenticeship, which is like, I feel like it sounds really bad in US terms, because, like, dropping out in high school or before high school is generally, like, a bit frowned upon, I think. But, like, since the German school system works so differently, it's, like, a whole different beast. But, like, if the last 3 years of my schooling are equivalent to high school, which it kind of is, well, I think high school is 4 years, but, then, in a way, your schooling would be equivalent to stopping after middle school. That being said, I mean, just the fact that German education system is just generally better than the American one, Should probably make it not look too poorly in comparison, but yeah. Was there anything else you want to say?
Not really, no.
Thought I interrupted you, which is another bad habit I have, which I should have probably noted earlier.
No.
What is something I'm not very good at?
I guess keeping on point, especially in podcasts.
I mean, that's fair.
Actually, I don't know.
That's kind of very much the same idea as what I wrote down, but it's not technically what I wrote down, but I'm definitely going to give you the point for that. What I wrote down is not procrastinating. And if you think about it, procrastinating is the same thing as not staying on point, just in a different context.
Yeah.
So it totally works.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, even if it wasn't what I had written down, it's still true. So, like, I find, like, it very hard to be like, oh yeah, guess what answer I would have written down, but more so, like, just get an accurate assessment. And yours, get this, shocker considering my previous answers, being on time.
True.
What is Sergey bad at? Being on time. What is the most annoying trait about him? Not being on time, right? Like, I feel like this is the third time I've answered, like, something to affect in one of these questions, and it just, it's fitting, right?
It works.
Yes. Let's see, what was the... Actually, I can cut it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be the first one, I think. So we did 2, 4, 6 questions. Math checks out. In the second topic, which we both, by my count, scored 6 out of 6 points. Which gives Sergey a total of 11 out of 14 on the day, and me a total of 11.5 out of 13. 14, still. Then it's 12.5. 12.5 out of 14.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, if you're good at math, but you start with the wrong numbers, it still gives you bad results. For a grand total of Sergey having 29.67 points, and me having 35.08, if I'm not miscounting.
What? Oh, I have your total being 36.08.
I mean, mine definitely says 25.08, and it couldn't really be anything from today unless you gave me a point for sleeves.
Sleeves.
Because that's the only one I got completely wrong today.
No, that is a 0 points on my side.
I mean, unless you somehow ended up scoring something twice, then there can't be anything. I think we were in agreement last week, so I don't know where that extra point comes from.
I think so. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We probably won't, but whatever. I mean, this won't be the first time that we've just someone accepted a discrepancy and just fixed it. Well, actually, we did figure out where that was, though. Right, songs of the week. I was about to go into the outro of the spiel. I was like, what are we doing? Yeah, like, no. Songs of the week. We're doing songs of the week. That's what we're doing. We're doing songs of the week. So, okay, what is your song of the week?
Yeah. I have a humorous one this time. It is Cool Patrol by Ninja Sex Party.
I mean, I love me some NSP. I mean, I want to say they have better songs, but most of their songs aren't, like, musically speaking, my favorites. I think from a pure musical standpoint, my favorite songs of theirs are just the ones from Under the Covers, as in the cover songs. Which is like, someone else wrote those. I think a lot of their songs are very funny, which is kind of what the goal is. This is probably, and once again, one of those where I wouldn't put it into my daily listening, but it seems fun.
I've only recently discovered them, like recently, as in like maybe a month ago-ish.
You didn't know about Ninja Sex Party? What the fuck?
No.
I mean,
I think I've heard like one or two songs of them before, but like, yeah, that's about it. I never like consciously recognize or like notice them as a group.
You're familiar with the Game Grumps, though, aren't you?
I don't think so.
I mean, they're a gaming YouTube channel, featuring, Aaron and Danny as like the main two guys. Danny as in, Danny Saxbang as in the singer of Ninja Sex Party.
Nope.
Which is, I mean, that's how I found out about NSP, is through Game Grumps, but okay. I mean, fair enough. I guess we know where our cultural knowledge diverges.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, because I know we watch a lot of the same stuff on YouTube, but like, I guess historically that hasn't always been the case. My song of the week is a lot less funny than that, and that is Frozen by Madonna.
Yeah. It do be nice.
So it's like, yes, this is music, indeed. Human music. My favorite.
Definitely music. Yeah, probably not something I listen to much, to be honest, but yeah.
I get this is very much like a taste thing, right? Like, this is like, either you thought that was kind of cool, or you're just like, eh. I feel like there's no, like, I feel like this seems like one of those, like, either you like it or you don't like it type of things. As Sergey is indicating that he's strong.
No, like, I mean, sorry, what?
I said, I think it's one of those either you like it or don't like it type of things, as Sergey is indicating that he's neutral.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like there are a lot of things where people say, like, oh yeah, you either love it or you hate it, and I'm like, eh. But, fair enough.
Quite often does it happen.
This one just, what I was trying to say is that this is one that feels like it's a lot more up to taste than a lot of other songs, right? Like, if you have like a generic pop song or generic rock song, like, no matter if it's like perfectly within your taste or not, it's usually not horrible. I mean, this one might not necessarily be horrible to people, but like, it's usually like, you can't be like too mad at them unless they're like horribly overplayed. Like, whatever. But like, this feels like one that would be a bit more divisive. I don't know if it is, but it just feels like it would be. Having said that, you know what's also divisive? This video. I don't know, maybe it doesn't. But we can see if that is or not. Well, we can, based on the like-dislike ratio. Which means you could give a like if you liked it. Or I suppose you could give it dislike. I mean, people aren't going to see your dislikes anymore. Even I don't see dislikes anymore. The first time I noticed that was like December 3rd. It was the first time I noticed not seeing dislikes anymore.
Oh?
On YouTube.
Oh. No, not as a creator, but like
as a viewer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, I can still see your dislikes on my video, but I can no longer see dislikes on other people's videos, which I could for the longest time because YouTube doesn't roll those sort of changes out to everyone at once, and I apparently was one of the later people to get that particular feature removed. Though I think they're also fully removing it from the API in like, I've heard 2 weeks being said. I don't know if that's the exact number, but
might be.
So at that point,
by the way, there is
every user.
There is open source software that still allows you to view dislikes roughly on videos. It has cached like a bunch of dislike ratios on like quite a bunch of videos and like approximates them and counts them on their end. And they hope, like not hope, but like they will implement a feature where channel creators can like give their data to this API thingy on their end.
Fair enough.
To make dislikes on their channel public.
Yeah, I mean that's
which I think is a cool thing.
That is an option. I'm gonna have to look into that because well, it feels a bit weird to be like, oh yeah, here's my data, but I do kind of like the transparency aspect. I was gonna say, like, with just caching it off of the old, like, dislike ratios, you're not gonna be able to affect new videos at all, but that would definitely do it. Yeah, it's a whole thing. If you want your dislike to be publicly noticed, you can also just write a comment about why you didn't like the video, which has the additional benefit that maybe we can improve based off of your feedback. If you want to give feedback directly to us, you might want to connect to us through Discord, where we have a server. We can either just give feedback in there, or you can also just find us in there and just send us a DM, I guess. My DMs are open. Alright, you can subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. I guess that's more for the like crowd than dislike crowd. But I mean, I guess you can see if we improve. You know, that might be interesting. Yeah, I think, Sergey?
That's it.
That's it.